Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't yet, please make sure you do subscribe down below and hit the little bell right next to it so you can get notified every time I do upload a new video. And yeah, don't forget to give this video a like. But yeah, let's get started. Alright, so today I will be showing you guys my go-to brushes and what I use to clean my brushes and all of that. Alright, so I'm going to start with my eye brushes. I have two Morphe ones and I have one Luxie brush. The Luxie is a little bit more on the pricier, I guess. You know, it's a little bit more expensive, but the Morphe are for sure like super affordable, and I feel like you can never go wrong with Morphe. So the first one I do have is the Morphe M433, and this is I use for like my crease. So when I want to add, start packing the color and then just kind of start blending it, for sure this one. And then this one is the Morphe M441. This one's a little bit more bigger. This one, the 441. But I feel like once you add like this on your crease, you can go back in with this and just kind of, you know, blend it out just so you won't have any harsh lines. So for sure, like these two together, like I promise your eye is going to be super blended. And then this, if I don't use these, then I would switch it out for this one. This is a Luxie 229 tapered blending brush. And this one is pretty similar to the... I didn't even realize that my camera was not freaking recording. Sorry, guys. Anyways, going back to the brushes. So yeah, these are pretty similar. So if you want to get either or if you already have one of these will definitely work on your crease. Okay, and then this, I use it for... This is the Luxie 213 eye shading brush. Usually this brush I would use to apply like shimmers or whatever on my lid. This is a really good brush for that. I feel like it picks up the shimmers and it doesn't leave a lot of fallout. So if you don't have just a regular flat brush, I feel like this works really good. Alright, so this is what I use to contour my nose. This is a really old brush. I got this when I was back in school. I had got a thing, like a whole brush set, and this came with it. So I really like how this contours my nose, but obviously I don't know where else I would be able to find this, so I did want to find a dupe for that, and I found these two. This is the Real Technique brush, and this is a Royal and Lanicle. They look pretty similar to that. If you can tell, they look pretty similar, so I feel like they could do the same job. But yeah, these, obviously you need like something way smaller for your nose. These are your brushes. Alright, and then this brush, this is a brush that I also got in a set from BH Cosmetics. This is a really good brush. It's like, has like an angle to it, but it also has like a flat surface on the top. When I use my sponge to do, you know, my concealer and all that, sometimes it's really hard to get in like this area, and I feel like this is like the perfect brush because sometimes, you know, you kind of like forget about that spot or you can't reach it, and then it just kind of looks really dark in that area. So for sure you need like something like this that I feel like can blend all this out and make it look nice and bright. So this BH Cosmetics, it doesn't have a name, but I mean it looks like that. So if you guys want to go on there and find something similar, this for sure works miracles. Okay, so moving on to highlight brushes. This is another one of my brushes that I told you guys I've had for so many years. It looks like this. I have not found anything that looks similar to this. The only other brush that I feel like works pretty good when I do my highlight and stuff is this Morphe E23. Looks like this. I feel like this one also, it's like not too big but not too small, and it goes perfect like right here where you want to add your highlight. This is the perfect brush. Okay, so moving on to face. I have this Real Technique foundation brush, and it looks like this, and I'm pretty sure you guys have to have something similar to this. But yeah, when I apply my primers or foundations, like especially on clients, sometimes on myself I just use my hands, but when I do apply it like on somebody else, I do like using a brush. I just feel like it's a little bit more sanitary, a little bit more professional. So yeah, I do like using this, you know, to just apply their primer and, like I said, their foundation, and then I'll go in with something else to blend it out. Okay, and then this brush, oh my god, this brush, I love this brush. Like I've used different brushes, and I feel like a lot of brushes leave like the strokes of, you know, like the brush, like when you do your foundation, and I just do not like that. So me, it's like I'm like a sponge girl. Like my sponge, I feel like saves my life. But ever since I found this brush, I feel like it cuts the time. Like it just, you know, you can blend out your foundation. Like if you're in a hurry, you just pick up this brush, and it just like, I swear, you just do your foundation so fast, and it doesn't leave the strokes. So yeah, this is like my go-to foundation brush. This is the Luxie 532 round top blender. It looks like this. And I just love this brush. What can I say? Like I said, it doesn't leave like the strokes or anything like that. Like it just leaves your face pretty smoothed out. I do always end up going this boy's like with the sponge, but I feel like if you didn't have a sponge and you only had this. Okay, so moving on to face brushes. I do have two of them. Usually the one that I use is this one. Looks like this. It's a pretty big brush, but once again, it does not have a name, so I wouldn't know exactly where to tell you to go get it, but it does look like this. I feel like a lot of places probably do sell brushes like this, but yeah, this one for sure works pretty good. I also have this Luxie 522 tapered highlighter brush, but I actually use it to apply powder down here. I feel like it's like a pretty good size to apply powder down here, a little bit on your forehead, you know, a little bit here. When I do go in to cut, you know, my contour and all that, I do use my sponge, but just to apply powder, I do really like this one. So I would say like either one of this works pretty good. Then going on to contour and slash blush, because I do use the same brush. I think my go-to number one for sure would be this one. This is the Equal Tools powder slash blush brush. I just love the way it is. Like it's kind of like roundish, but then it has like a point to it. I don't know, I feel like it's like perfect to get in this area right here, like to contour. And then obviously if you want to, like when I do contour, I use it this way, and then when I want to kind of apply blush, or you know, since I apply bronzer, I kind of turn it and then kind of pat it in this area. So I feel like it works pretty good. This is literally like my favorite. I use it like every single time I do my makeup. But I also have some other one that is a little bit the same. This is the Real Technique multitask brush. This one also works pretty good. I bought both of them at Walmart. They are pretty similar, as you can see, but this one I feel like has a little bit more of a point, so maybe that's why I love it, like in this area. But they both work pretty good. So if you're looking for, you know, a blush, oh my gosh, if you're looking for a brush, you know, to contour or to apply brush, oh my god, I cannot talk. If you're looking for a brush to apply, you know, blush or to contour, I would say, you know, either of these would work pretty good. So go find yours at Walmart. Okay, so these are, you know, my brushes, my go-to brushes that I love using, and I've used them on myself, I've used them on clients, so I know that they work on different face shapes, because that's also one thing too, that I feel like I try to find stuff that works on just different faces, because everybody does have different features, but I feel like all of this is kind of universal, and it just works on different people, not just on myself, not just on my face type. But they really do work, and I feel like they're pretty affordable. The Luxie ones are a little bit more on the pricey side, but these Luxie ones I actually got on the BoxyCharm, so if you do have BoxyCharm, you probably did receive these, but if you do go and buy them, you know, on its own, they are a little bit more pricey. Yeah. Now I want to show you guys, obviously, the sponge that I use. Mateo kind of bit it off, but it does have a little point here. But this is the Real Technique sponge. Also, I got this at the drugstore. Super affordable, and I feel like they work super good. Like, I think it's already kind of old, and I probably need a new one already. But I swear this has lasted me so long, and my face just literally looks pretty smoothed out when I do go in with my sponge. I do use it wet, and also, you know, I try to use this side so when I apply my foundation, and then this side I use so when I go in and do my concealer, and when I apply my my powder, I do sometimes apply it with the same sponge, so I think it works. But I don't know, it just, if you don't want to use that, you can obviously use the brush that I was telling you guys about, but for sure you need this sponge. I promise it will change your life. I promise. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry guys, but my phone is on my last nerves. It keeps turning off on me, so I had to switch my camera. I just feel like this camera kind of washes me out, but oh well, we're gonna have to work with it so I can finish this video because I'm about to just lose it. So going back to the most important part, I feel like you have to sanitize your brushes. You have to clean them, especially if you have clients. Like, you have to really clean them. You don't want to spread all that bacteria and all of that nasty stuff, so make sure you do clean your brushes. So my number one thing for sure, hands down, is the best I feel is the oh my gosh, looks super white. But yeah, if you have not tried this, you need to try it, right? I don't know, but I get mine at Walmart. It's like super cheap, and it works for a long period of time. Like, I've had this already, I don't know, a couple weeks, and I wash my brushes, my face brushes, my eye brushes, my sponge, everything I wash with this. So all you have to do is just put it under the water and, you know, just kind of rub it in there and then wash off your brush, and your brush will literally, like, anything that it has, like glitter, eyeshadow, anything comes right off of this. I promise, it works super good. The same thing for my sponge. All I do is I just put it under the water and then, you know, rub it in there, and it cleans my, you know, my sponge pretty good, because sometimes foundation could be pretty hard to get off, you know, but for sure this takes it right off. Y me lo deja como nuevo. Okay, so the second thing is this brush bath purifying brush cleaner from It Brushes for Ulta. So it looks like this. This works pretty good. Usually I use this when I do have, you know, back-to-back clients, and I need to sanitize, you know, my brushes before using it on somebody else. That's when I do go in with like a paper towel or something, and I spray a little bit on the paper towel, and then I just kind of rub the brush on there, and it cleans it so good. It takes off everything. Like, it dries super fast. Like, I think it says within 1 or 2 minutes, you know, it'll be dry, so it'll be ready to use, you know, within 1 or 2 minutes. But yes, that will be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something from it. I really hope that you guys try at least one of these brushes, because I promise these are like my go-to brushes. They work super good, and I feel like a lot of these I like started using like years ago, like when I started doing makeup, and some of them are still here, so they are pretty good. Si duran, like, if you take care of them, like, they'll last, you know. So yeah, I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do subscribe and you click the little bell so you can get notified every time I do upload. But yeah, that will be it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys.